How to play it safe this Thanksgiving. With just 14 days to go, it's time to start preparing, from health precautions to getting that meal planned. Kroger CEO will join us live in a moment. But first, TJ Holmes has more. Good morning, TJ.
All right, it's a little more difficult to pass the dressing to somebody that's 6 feet away, right? But the CDC says you better figure it out, because what's been driving the surge in COVID cases in the country right now? Small gatherings. Thanksgiving, a lot of people having small gatherings. There's a reason now. You need to know right now, today, if and when and how that Thanksgiving of yours is going to go forward.
Thanksgiving, exactly 2 weeks away, and this is not the year for last-minute planning, the experts will tell you. 3 things to consider in advance. 1, is it safe to celebrate with loved ones? 2, what travel restrictions are in place? And 3, will your favorite holiday groceries be available? When it comes to celebrating, Dr. John Brownstein, an epidemiologist with Boston's Children's Hospital, says he's playing it safe, doing a virtual family celebration this year.
We have rampant, uncontrolled, disease transmission for COVID happening across this entire country. And the more interactions that we have, the more this will fuel transmission.
But if you do plan on seeing your loved ones?
Many public health experts say it's not the best idea, but if that is something that you need to do, you actually need to be implementing those now. 14-day quarantine, and that is starting right now, that someone needs to be putting themselves in isolation from others, and then testing.
The CDC also recommends added layers to stay safe, like, yes, wearing a mask, staying 6 feet apart, and eating outdoors if possible. For some, the risk of gathering is not worth it. The Flowers family just lost their mother to COVID-19, and they're urging people to skip Thanksgiving this year.
Don't have big gatherings, because you'd rather lose one Thanksgiving and be able to share all the rest of them with your family.
And while weighing the risks, you also need to consider the rules. There are travel restrictions in place, but still more than half of all Americans plan to travel for the holiday. New York is cracking down on the size of indoor gatherings, limiting it to 10 people unless they're part of your household.
That doesn't work. If these numbers keep going crazy, you have some scientists who believe we're going to go back to a close down. I'm just praying that doesn't happen.
Governor Cuomo also recently updated travel restrictions, requiring visitors to test negative in 3 days before they arrive, then quarantine for 3 days once they get to New York, then test negative again on day 4 to get out of that quarantine. Meanwhile, in Chicago, a 14-day quarantine is mandatory for anyone traveling from a state on the red list. And in Hawaii, you can get out of that mandatory quarantine if you take a state-approved test within 72 hours before arrival. Get all that? The rules, yes, they can be complicated. And as you prep for an unusual Thanksgiving this year, 2 weeks out, now is the time to also start thinking about what you need to buy for your smaller than usual feast.
My advice would be that you would want to try to shop early for things that are going to be non-perishable, that can be frozen or perhaps aren't going to expire before your holiday date.
Stores like Walmart, Stu Leonard's, and Kroger all stocking up on smaller turkeys. And Kroger is also trying to make sure they keep their shelves stocked. With reports of panic buying, they're now putting limits on products like paper goods and disinfectants to help prevent shortages.
As far as the food, big spread on the table, not a good idea. Consider putting guests and food in 2 different places, or stray, have everybody bring their own food and drink.
Bring your own food and drink. Okay, or just stay at home. All right, TJ, you got your options.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.